Hi guys. I'm still in bed. It's early. I have a session with someone in England, so I have to get up. But you know how you anticipate and then you end up getting up earlier than you would? But I have all this time, so I'm just laying here. Anyway, it's me and Sheepy. This is the cutest Sheepy I've ever had. I've had little sheepies, little stuffed animal sheep since I was literally born, and my mother, she'll buy me a new one every few years. Normally, I get one that has like fleece, like a real sheep. This one doesn't have fleece, but it's soft. Isn't he cute? And his little feet are weighted, so like when I throw him on the bed or something, he'll literally land this like really cute little cross-legged, way, just like naturally, like this. Anyway, the reason I wanted to make this video though, of me and Sheepy, is well, one thing I want to say about that is Sheepy was self-soothing for me. So as a child, I would suck my thumb, and then with the other hand, I would feel the softness. And I think it was a real tactile way to self-soothe. So anyway, I'm not ashamed. I still have Sheepy, and I still self-soothe. I don't suck my thumb anymore, though. But anyway, I really wanted to make this video and talk about the books I've been reading because I'm real excited about them. So right now, one of them, and it really, it's really feeding me in my female healing. Healing my femininity, healing my feminine areas of my body, and also emotions and experience as a woman. So anyway, I'm reading this book, The Red Tent. I never did get through it, years ago when it came out. But it's basically about, back in Jesus's time, or even pre-Jesus, the women's story. The red tent is where they gathered together for their menstrual cycle, and it basically talks about, what they call the forgotten stories, that the lines of information and stories passed from mother to daughter were broken. And so this book is kind of a way of these women from the past reaching out forward to us women in the future. It's really cool. So The Red Tent by Anita Diamant. So recently I also reread Sidney Poitier, the actor, his spiritual autobiography. Really good. Really a pioneer and at the forefront of the civil rights movement. Came to the States in the 50s as a kid from the Bahamas and hadn't had any kind of experience with racism, where he grew up on a small island, Cat Island in the Bahamas. So when he got here, he was already set in his kind of selfhood, and just really could not accept that here in the States we had this Jim Crow issue of seeing someone else as not fully human. He just refused to accept that. And so everything he did, all the roles that he took, he always tried to stay within the limits of what he believed and the message he wanted to send. And he worked with producers and directors who were really trying to get that message out as well. So you can go back and look at his movies, and they're all just very thought-provoking and, really pushing the envelope at the time. I just rewatched Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy, and Sidney Poitier, and he plays, the boyfriend coming to dinner with the white girlfriend, and it's really funny to see how they all grapple with it. And that was, oh my God, 40, 50, 60, 50 years ago. Not that long ago, really. But anyway, so I read that. Then that led me back to reading Obama's books again, Dreams from My Father and The Audacity of Hope. I feel like the two of them kind of have a lot in common as far as, having grown up in different cultures and having had direct experience with their own unique experiences, let's say, with race in their own lives. And I look up to both of them. I think that they're both leaders who are who were moved by like I said, their integrity and their beliefs and their heart and soul. Whether you agree with me politically or not, uh, he definitely is a phenomenal human being and has kind of done things differently. Um, Coming from a place of community organizing and connecting directly with the people to really get in touch with what it is that the needs are collectively and in society. So that's inspiring. I got into that too because I read Michelle's book, Becoming. Ooh, highly recommend that. Very inspiring. And the fact that they have the two girls and their perspective on parenting, I really enjoyed that. Me as a parent. What else am I reading? Oh my God, I'm rereading the Chronicles of Narnia, you guys. So magical. So right now I'm reading the Silver Chair. It wasn't one of the more popular ones in the series, but it's still one of them. So I'm reading that now. Look at this cool 70s cover. And the next one I'm going to get to is The Horse and His Boy. Oh, I'm so excited. And then what else am I reading? Oh, I just picked this up in one of those little free libraries. I wanted something of kind of like ancient times having to do with women. Another one, besides the red tent. Anyway, I found this. I don't know if it's going to be any good. The Gate to Women's Country. And it's about a time on the earth when there was a matriarchy. Women were a little more in power than they are now. I want to get to The Handmaid's Tale next. I have it in my queue. Another one I'm reading, I don't have it here to show you, but amazing book called The Power of Awareness by Neville. The Power of Awareness by Neville. He was a metaphysical teacher, you could say, back over 100 years ago. But anyway, he talks about just that, the power of awareness, kind of like the power of now with Eckhart Tolle. His purpose of writing the book is to remind us of our power, and our power lies in our consciousness and how we direct it as attention and awareness. And he talks about if you're trying to create something in your life, like for me, I want to create healing and total vibrant health. He talks about how what we tend to do is get caught up in what is happening. I get caught up in the pain. You get caught up in the deterioration. You get caught up in, the disease, say. But then what happens when you focus on that too much is you're just reinforcing it in every moment. So wherever you put your attention and your imagination together and your desire, all that together, and there's also a certain amount of just letting go, is what you're going to create. So if you keep, oh God, I don't feel good. Oh, this is still there. Oh, the cancer is, eating me away. Then you're creating that in that moment. But if you say, oh, what would it feel like if I was totally healed? So I start using my imagination. I remember that I pull from my past. Or I even pull from my present. What is vibrant in me right now? What is alive in me right now? And I see myself, my body healthy. I see myself springing out of bed in the morning after a really good night's sleep and putting on my jogging shorts and running shoes and, stretching with no problems, with no impediments, getting up and running out the door and, just being totally in vibrant health. So anyway, as I'm imagining that, I'm really trying to tune into how that feels. What does that feel like? So the point of it is the more you can feel what it would feel like to have what you want and just step, literally step into that vibration of that feeling, you actually draw it into yourself. You're actually creating it. I know it sounds so simple. I think it's just so freaking cool. Um, so anyway, the power of awareness. Um, Gosh, I have so many books right now. I love books. But anyway, I found thriftbooks.com. You can get books for like $3 or $4 and order them online. Um, I'm not trying to do a commercial or anything, but I do like to pass that along, because if you choose the, acceptable version, or the used but barely acceptable, they do come in good shape, maybe like a couple underlines or dog ears, but it's really no big deal for me. I mean, $3 or $4 for a book. So I'm building up my library. All of my stuff is in Austin, where I've lived for 20 years, in storage. And so I've realized, there are certain things that have helped me feel like I have old friends around. Like I ordered a couple of cookbooks, that I had had in my kitchen for 20 years. And now I have it in my kitchen here in North Carolina. And I've realized just how important just little things like that can be to, as a tool to, well, help bring me into the vibration of where I want to be, just like I was talking about with that book, Power of Awareness. And I've been learning to give those things to myself, and it's okay. I got a little bit of help and money for some holistic healing and various, healing modalities. And I decided some of that I want to put toward books and building up my library here. Because it's an important part, important tools of healing, and it's something tangible that, I will hold on to for years to come. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Sheepy. Any books you're reading that you recommend? Oh my gosh, I'm also reading How to Starve Cancer Without Starving Yourself. It's kind of difficult to... she's really smart, like chemist. She had cancer, cervical, like me, like stage 3 or stage 4. It's phenomenal what she did. But I looked at it last night, and it's difficult to... It's not very accessible or practical for me. You go through the book, and it's really hard to find what is she recommending that you eat, that you don't eat. All these medicines that she recommends that you take. I get the concept, but when you're fighting for your life, it's hard to sit down and have patience and, sort of try to become a biochemist through reading all of these details, overnight. So I'm really trying to get into that book. It's challenging. But hey, I read as well early on when I first got diagnosed. Now I'm totally forgetting the name of it, but Radical Remission. That's what it's called. Radical Remission by Christina Turner, I think is her name. And then now she's about to come out with a new one, Radical Hope. Anyway, it's all about people who have healed from cancer in various ways, or non-conventional ways. I would highly recommend that book. She comes up with 9 different things that all the people who have healed seemingly spontaneously all had in common. Things like diet, and spiritual connection, and emotional release, and community connection, things like that. So anyway, so there's a few books for you. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Love you. Bye. Bye.